I'm rinsing well. From the wrist down with a paper towel. So I have the paper towel ready, and I'll go ahead and dry my hands. Alright, and lastly, we're just going to check to see if with the alright, okay, I dry my hands, and after that is when we turn off the water. Okay, alright. Okay, so alright, so check your hand washing progress with the UV light. So let's inspect our hands. Okay. Alright, hands look very clean. You don't see any residue on the surface of my skin of any contaminants. Okay. All right. That was a good wash. Okay. So remove all traces of the glow by washing and scrubbing those areas still glowing under the UV light. I am going to just retouch just on the ring, or my ring, just making sure that I kind of got all of it and it is not dirty, because I did see a little bit of residual, very few, but just like a speck of like germ glow, a glow germ on it. Okay, so my sink was a very high area or very contaminated area with the glow germ. So I'm going to go ahead and clean as best as I can the sink, eliminating all of the glow germ from the sink area, and we'll check it with the black light. Okay. And again, I may have to clean my hands one more time, because again, I'm kind of contaminating myself and my hands since I'm cleaning the sink. It could get dirty again and become contaminated, so we'll go ahead and do this process again. Alright. Just disposing of that paper towel. I actually, on a daily basis, I pretty much wash my hands all the time. Being in the medical field, before entering a patient's room, after entering a patient's room, or after leaving, upon exiting a patient's room, of course, I'm washing my hands. If I'm performing any care prior to that, I'm also washing my hands. And it's just crucial, especially within the medical field as well as the food industry. I mean, just every aspect of okay, got it. I'm gonna use all these paper towels. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. So, our instructions are also indicating for us to check the sink for surrounding areas of contamination. Use the soap to remove all traces of contamination. Remember to clean the UV light itself as well with a damp towel. Okay, so I'm kind of cleaning my little light here. This has actually been very useful, and I'm going to kind of inspect my home a little later, make sure that I don't have any other surfaces that are contaminated, but very handy. All right. And we are going to reapply the glow germ described in part 1 in step number 4. All right, wash your hands as part. Okay. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to check to see if my area is clean. And it does. I don't know if you remember, guys, what it looked like before, but it is looking very clean now. No signs of area of contamination, and so far so good. All right. Alright, so it's stating here to reapply the glow germ as described in part 1, step 4. Alright, so let's try it. Okay, so I'm going to reapply the glow germ. I'm going to shake it. Shake. Okay. Okay, then it's indicating for me to wash my hands as described in part 3, which is a good wash, okay? Because again, we've washed our hands several times between then, so of course there wouldn't be much contaminants left or any residue left. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Then I'm going to wash my hands very thoroughly. And it does indicate make sure you only touch the faucet with a paper towel. Use a different paper towel to dry your hands and turn off the faucet. And take a transfer pipette from the Good Wash group and transfer 3 ml like I've done in the other groups. Repeat for the second test tube. Okay. All right, so I've already distributed the glow germ again on my hands. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands thoroughly. A good wash this time. Okay. Alright. This is right in the sink. Okay, fingers pointing downward. Gonna go on the dorsal aspects of the hand, as well as the palms. Getting my thumb, fingers, the knuckles, Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse thoroughly. Okay. Already washed my hands for about 20 seconds as indicated. Kind of sang the happy birthday song in my head twice. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the water using a paper towel. Okay, I'm only touching the faucet with a paper towel as indicated. Use a different paper towel to dry your hands and turn off the faucet. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my next group, which is the Good Wash. Alright, bring my water out. And we are going to do the same. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have both test tubes already filled with the 3 mLs. Okay. Have my pipette sitting in my little test tube rack. Alright, so our next step is to turn off the light, make sure the area is as dark as possible. We're going to examine this again with the UV light. Okay, so this computer's going down, the lights are off. Okay. If I can find this, alright, found it. Okay, so here we are examining, guys, if there's any residue on the actual test tubes. Okay, I actually held them up so we can examine here if there's any residual, which this test tube is looking pretty good. Same with the second one. Pipette looks, it's probably like 2 spots, 2 little spots right there. On the pipette of the contaminant. Okay. Alright, beaker looks good. Sink. Does see a couple more contaminants. We checked it just now, but as I washed my hands, a lot of that residual did come off and in turn fall in the sink. So we do need to make sure that this area is yet again cleansed really well and disinfected, as well as the countertops. And I'll show you, because we saw that it was pretty clean last time, but we can see that there is that residual contamination. All right, this lab's pretty interesting. Okay. All right, so we're back and we are nearing the end of the lab. Okay, it does indicate for us to record the number of glowing contamination spots in data table 1 to include the spots on the pipette, the tubes themselves, the rack, and the Good Wash part of the work area. Note the difference between the wash, between all washes. No wash, good wash, quick wash, all of it. Okay. So I'll go ahead and dispose of the activity waste, including the pipettes, cardboard test tubes, paper towels, and the household trash. Discard the water in the sink, rinse the beaker, test tubes, and brush in the sink. Dry and return them to your lab kit for later use. clean the work area, check all the areas with the UV light. It's been extremely interesting. I really enjoyed this lab, and I appreciate that you've also come in for the ride. Thank you very much for participating with me, and I thank you for everything. Thank you. Bye.